Hello YouTube friends, welcome everyone to my channel, my video. This is Eric Beatty, and I recently had a guy contact me on YouTube about playing a song called Wild Bill Jones and about teaching it. Now I became familiar with this song through Allison Krauss and Union Station, an old version of what they played of it, and also a very familiar Brian Sutton instructional song that he did on one of his homespun tapes. And I'll have a link to that. If you'll go to the bottom where it says show more, I'll have a link to that DVD. It's a pretty good DVD by Homespun, and like I said, there'll be a link to it in the show notes at the bottom here. And what I'm going to do is, he did a lesson on that, but here on YouTube there's only like a minute of it, and it's of him playing it. And so I'm guessing that's why the guy contacted me, is to do a lesson on that. So I'm going to try to work on a lesson for Wild Bill Jones, and I've got a looper with a rhythm in the background here, my Digitech RP355. I'm using it as a looper to aid me and be my rhythm track, so to speak. So I'm going to play it like I play it, and then we're going to break it down and kind of go over some things about how to create effective solos as well. So here we go, Wild Bill Jones. And kind of hard to hear that, but anyway, I didn't want it to overpower the guitar. So you kind of get the idea. And if you've never heard the song Wild Bill Jones, it's kind of like, as I went down for to take a little walk, I came upon that Wild Bill Jones. And that's basically the melody through the whole song. As I went down for to take a little walk, I came upon that Wild Bill Jones. Okay, so when creating a solo for any kind of song, or trying to create a melody for the song, that's one of the key things, is learning the melody, singing it in your head and trying to find it. And Steve Kaufman calls it seek and ye shall find. He goes at the Bible method. So you sing it in your head and you kind of find the same notes to play along with that. So right now we have in the key of G, as I went down. Pretty simple. For to take a little walk, I came upon that Wild Bill Jones. Okay, so let's play the looper with that. Let's go ahead and sing it, and then we'll repeat it with the guitar. Gotta make sure it gets in time. As I went down for to take a little walk, I came upon that Wild Bill Jones. Again. Okay, so that's pretty simple. That's a broke down version of it. And that's the key, is we want to find the melody. We want to sing it to ourselves, find it, and then be able to play it. I know it's kind of hard to do that, but if you're familiar with bluegrass guitar at all, you kind of know where you can and cannot go within the key of G. Like I know I can... And then that's, if you're thinking of pentatonics, that's box 5. Okay, Then it starts all over at box 1. So I can do some high stuff up here. Okay, so working on that, then from the melody, from there we kind of build the song, like I was just noodling around there. And one of the great things about practice is you don't have to sit there and practice scales a lot. Once you have a basic melody, like we just did, as I went down for to take a little walk, I came upon that Wild Bill Jones. So from there, I don't like picking everything, so I like to use pull-offs a lot, and that's a good spot to pull off in the key of G is the D string at the 3rd fret. It's a good bluesy note. So you got the open G right after that, or if you've got an open G, then this G would work too. So a lot of times a slide will work off. A slide will work after that pull-off. And so my hand is most of the time for the melody staying within the first 3 frets here as I go. And so that's kind of like the highest note. And that is from the 1st fret to the 3rd fret of that B string. I'm using a hammer on there. Another good spot there I like to use is that little pull off here at the 2nd fret of the B string to the 1st fret. And that's a good little thing to do there. And there's another thing on one of my lessons that I call backtracking, and where you're picking a note. You've picked the string before, but then you're going back to it. So you're backtracking to that string. Or you can add a quick little slide in there as well. And so at the end, it goes to immediately that D. And that's another good little thing you can do. You can slide from the 3rd fret D string. You can, instead of pulling off, you can slide to the 4th fret and then hit the open G string. That's a good little bluesy thing. Or you can slide all the way to the G again. Okay. And once you get the basic melody too, you can add notes here and there that are higher than that melody. See, like the Brian Sutton pointed out that the highest note in that is this, and we can actually go higher than that. We got a couple more notes here. Excuse me, got something in my throat. But we can go a couple notes higher and go, or even we can go there. We can also keep in mind the 2nd and the 3rd fret of the. Tell you what works really good is the 2nd and 3rd fret, or excuse me, the 1st and 3rd fret of the B string and the E string, as well as the A string and the E string. These are both within the scale. So we can play around in that area too. We don't have to go. We do that the first time, and the second time we can kind of build from that. One of the key important points that he points out, and that I believe as well, is that you start with a basic melody and you kind of want to play with that. Establish a basic melody for your audience. And then when it comes time to roll around again, then you kind of mess around. Okay, so if I did that with a looper, let's see if I get that just a little bit louder so I can hear it. There we go. All right. That's basic. Let's try it again. Now we start after that, we start mix it up. And I'm sure you guys want to know a little bit of that stuff too. One of the things I learned from Brian Sutton is that same pull off you can use. You can pull off of it real quick and then quickly land on the previous string, the A string, on the same fret, the 3rd fret. And that's 2 downstrokes. And then after that you hit the open D to give you time to get to the 1st fret. You kind of got to work on it as far as timing goes and trying to get your timing correctly. And you can just add a G run after that, but that is that's the gist of that. But that is the importance of establishing a melody first and then adding on to that melody. Adding on to the basic melody, you want to establish it first, and then as the song goes along, as it loops around a couple times, then you get all fancy. And what I was doing up here, that's box 1, the lower half of box 1, or the upper half depending on your view of it, and it is, and that is the 1st or the 3rd and the 6th frets of the E and the B string. And then from there we've got the 5th and 3rd frets of the G string. So once again, you'll see me use that pull off a lot. I just love the way that sounds. It's really bluesy and really good sound. So what I did basically was I went 1 note outside the box on the 1st string here, then went back down. Little pull off on the B string. I'm borrowing these 2 strings right here at the 3rd fret. Okay. Now my timer's about to go off. It's set for 13 minutes. It kind of gives me a time so that I don't have to worry about going over too much. I'm trying to keep a hold of that. So we will try and not to go over 13 minutes here too much. And after that, you kind of walk it back down. And that little open G. 3rd, 4th fret, open G. And you kind of get a feel for it to know where it's going to come in. So a good thing to do would be get your own looper and let it go around and try to mess with it. So you can work on that just a little bit. And also the other thing I did was I went up here with my middle finger going to the 7th fret on the G string. And you're going to kind of get this diagonal shape coming down here. This is box 2 of a pentatonic shape for this key of G minor. And that looks like the bottom 3 strings look like this. We have this 1 string on the G string of the 7th fret, and then the next 2 strings are going to be on the 6th and 8th fret. And your root note, your G note, is right there. So I'm sliding from the 5th to the 7th. And what I like to use that little note there, the major 3rd, and that is box 3. And again, I'm using my middle finger here for a little pull off. There it's a hammer on, there it's a pull off. A good transition point is when I come back down, hit that open G, and then I'm back to where I need to be in the open strings here. And there's that little lick again. So, for Wild Bill Jones, I've got some notes here. The first thing was the importance of establishing a melody, and this is for any solo. If you want to play How Far Away, play it. Oh, glad morning when this life is o'er. Find your melody, and then find it on the guitar or whatever key you're in. Give yourself a key, then find it from there. And if you hit a wrong note, you go back and find it again. And also, if it's kind of awkward for your hands, you try to find the same note on another string. And then from there, you can add all the fancy stuff. You can build on top of that using notes that you know are in the G scale, the minor scale, the minor pentatonic. And once again, for the open G, that is the second and the third, the first and the third fret of the top 2 and the bottom 2 strings. And try to get those middle notes. You can even do it there. It's not really necessarily in the scale, but it helps complement the that little pull off. Okay. So, and then for the other 2 strings in the middle 2, it's just open. That's why the pull off works there. You can sit there and noodle with those 2 frets all over and over. And go back to that. Okay, and the other thing was going from the melody to improvisation, which is what we just did. We established the melody, then we added some higher notes here and there. We went higher on and got outside our comfort zone on the fretboard. So we did that. And I wanted to point out the bluesy side of bluegrass, and that is using a bunch of the flatted notes and things like that. So I think I'll do that on the next video. So you guys take care. Thank you for watching. Please click the show notes below where it says show more, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't. I think the subscribe button's somewhere hovering above my head up here. And tell your friends about this channel. Tell your friends about my main website, which you can find by going to www.secretsoftexasbluesguitar.com. And also, if I'm not mistaken, if I haven't changed it by now, I have a couple videos down here below me as well. One is so that you can go and check out my completely free newsletter, which I invite you to do. It's chock full of guitar information, videos just like this one, mostly for electric guitar. So if you're an electric guitar, then it's mostly for blues and electric guitar, lead electric guitar things. But it's really good anyway for any kind of guitarist that wants to branch out and learn more. And on this side, you can actually subscribe to my channel by clicking on this little video box that's coming up here on my left and your right. So guys, thank you so much, and I hope you got a lot out of this video. I'm sorry I didn't zoom in. I just realized when I got the remote in my hand that I didn't zoom in, so I'll try to keep that in mind. But enjoy Wild Bill Jones, and in the next video, I guess I'll discuss part 2 of this, which will discuss some of the bluesier notes that we went over and the bluesy side of bluegrass. So stay tuned for that. Thank you guys. Please subscribe, and please tell your friends.